This is CJ Leede, who is the author of three books, Mayfly, American Rapture, and Headlights, that released in June. And this is the 27th episode of this on the Serendipitous Side podcast. So, CJ, you're an amazing writer. You to me, you're the queen of bittersweet endings. That's one of my favorite things about your books. But you're also a nature lover and advocate, and a dog mom, and an athlete, and all kinds of really cool shit. So, I'm a huge fan of your books, and it's super cool to get to chat with you today. So, I was wondering if before we start talking about the book, would you just like give a little introduction of it yourself since you're the one who wrote it? I thought that would be really cool.
Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, thank you for all of that. And 27th episode feels like that
Yeah,
feels like a
good
lucky,
number.
cool, yeah.
I agree.
Um, so my kind of project as a writer is I'm kind of like writing America place by place. And this is my Colorado book. And people are waking up on the side of the highway with no memory of how they got there, wearing the skin of someone they've allegedly never met and nothing else. And they've got a human hair tied around their tongues. And the very like tortured special agent who had been on the case before now has to return to Colorado and face his past and everything he really doesn't want to face in order to try and stop these very bizarre, dark crimes. And it's kind of supernatural crime thriller, but also it's a lot of things. It's about grief
Yeah,
mostly.
definitely. I would agree with that. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's such a great book. I'm just like thinking about all the different things that were.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's so good. So, how long did the core idea of Headlights live in your head before you started writing it?
Uh, you know, these sometimes these ideas kind of like sideswipe me out of nowhere. And that's what happened with this book. I was just walking one day and I just kind of saw these people on the side of the highway and I was like, that's strange. What is that? And I started kind of following that. And then I saw this guy and I was like, who are you? And that's kind of how the book felt. The hard part for me is never the ideas. It's like how to tell the story
Yeah.
and meaning like where to drop in and whose perspective to use and all of those things are what take forever. So I think the whole book took me like 4.5 years
Oh,
in
wow.
total.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. It's very complex.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it changed a lot.
Really?
I tried to make it really like more of a traditional detective story
Mhm.
thriller. And
Mhm.
I was feeling like kind of stuck in it.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, my editor was like, you're a horror writer. Like, we don't really have rules in horror. And I was like, we don't have rules in horror. Like, what am I doing? So it was really cool because once I freed myself up to write anything, then I was like, oh, this is, of course, what I've always like secretly been wanting to do with this book. So it felt really good.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the supernatural aspect of it. And I felt like a lot of that, because it wasn't just like a cut and dry traditional detective thriller, it had more depth. Like the things that
Thank
you wove
you.
in with that, I thought it made it even more emotional. Like your books are so good at making you feel things,
Thank
which is
you.
my favorite type of book. Like when I go into Storygraph and I'm like happy, sad, funny. You're like,
All of them.
all of them, and they're always
Yeah.
my favorite books. Those are always, and that's what I feel like all three of your books have done that in such different ways. And I think all your
Thank
readers
you.
feel that way too, definitely. Yeah, which is really
Thank you so much.
cool.
Yeah, that's my hope is that every book, like they're all so different.
Mhm.
And this one's very tonally different than the other two. But like they all hopefully do have moments where like you'll laugh or you'll cry
Oh
or
yeah,
you'll
oh yeah.
feel like anger or pain or joy or like feel turned on or whatever it is, like all the
Totally.
things. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So when you first had that visualization and whatnot, did you know immediately you would write from a male point of view for the book?
Well, he was just the character that stuck out to me.
Mhm.
I felt a lot of pressure
Mhm.
to not do that. Um,
Yeah.
which is funny because Maeve was my first book published, but I wrote other books before
Oh,
Maeve.
wow.
And yeah, that Maeve was the third book I ever wrote. And so the first book I ever worked on was what eventually became American Rapture, like
Okay.
10 years later. And then the second book I worked on, which I really thought would have been my first book in the world, back when I was working on it, was a male protagonist, and it's like a vampire trucker novel.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I never really thought about it.
Yeah.
But because Maeve came out first, and because we're in this sort of like um moment of categorization where like I hadn't heard the term femgore until
Mhm.
I started hearing it everywhere, or
Yeah.
like weird girl fiction, and I love all that, and I'm down with all that. But it was interesting because it was like that was just a part of what I like wanted to do.
Right.
um so I definitely felt pressure not to write a male POV, and I tried to do a dual POV, but it just didn't work. Like I felt
Yeah.
like it was his story.
Mhm.
So, um, yeah, I went with it.
Cool, because I know not all authors try and, have a book in their repertoire that is from a different perspective than their own, but how cool that you did it. Do you know what I mean? That's a huge
Thank you.
challenge. I mean, I'm sure that, like, what was it hard to do actually? I don't know if it was a challenge.
The funny thing was, at first it was hard because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get it right. Like, it's so
Yeah.
different. And I kept getting really tripped up, and it felt kind of stilted. And then I was like, I just need to treat this person like a human being. Like, what a crazy idea. And then suddenly it was like, oh, this is so easy. He's just a person. So I hope actually, I hope that, well, my next book is a female protagonist, but my fifth book is another male protagonist. So
Oh, that's
I
fun.
yeah, and I'd love to do like a non-binary just
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah. Why not? Just
Yeah.
the world is your oyster. I mean, you're the one making it, so you get to really do whatever the hell you want to do.
Yeah. It's and also I think reading is about empathy and is about, understanding people who are different than we are. And so um yeah, I hope to write a protagonist for every type of reader.
Yeah. One of my favorite books. Have you ever read Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver? That
Actually, never.
It's an amazingly written male POV from
Okay, I'll read it.
probably one of the other better ones other than yours that I've read, where I was just like, whoa, she nailed it. Yeah, it's really good. It's also,
That's awesome.
I don't know if you listen to audiobooks, but it's so good on audio, that book.
I love audiobooks.
Listen to it on audio. So
Okay,
yeah, totally.
thank you.
Of course. So what was the research like for
Extensive. It's part of why it took so long. I had 6 authenticity readers on this book.
amazing? Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
they
great.
all helped so much. They were like amazing. Um, like I want to do place justice when I write about it. I wanted to do the veteran experience justice as much as, everybody's experience is different, but um I wanted to do that as kind of tactfully as I could, and I wanted to do right by the sort of like procedural stuff, that was interesting, and making sure the legal stuff made sense. And it was a ton of research. I read like 50 books
Wow.
on all of these things, and systems ecology, and like all of these, like
Yeah.
so many things. But it was fun. Like I loved learning about all this stuff. That's the joy to me of writing these books, is like I love learning. And I think that one of the hardest things about being human is like that I know I can't learn everything,
I
so I
know.
just want to learn as much as I can.
I agree. That seems like it would be a really cool thing, especially for a book, I guess, that has more research going into it. And I feel like it would also help you like stay in that world. Like you're reading, do you know what I mean? And you're learning these nonfiction things, and it's like helping aid the world that you're creating in your book, just
Yeah.
super immersive, which is like another question totally off chart from this, but I was curious. So, like, I love the playlist that you make. Every Halloween when we have our Halloween party, we always play the Mayfly playlist. And so I was curious, do you listen to music while you write?
Yeah.
Did you listen to the music like that? Some of it that's on the playlist for the.
Totally.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's totally. Usually I will, this is where it gets like you're like a crazy person.
Yeah.
But usually I'll pick one song and I'll put it on repeat for like working on a scene because it'll kind of start to drone and I don't hear the lyrics as much, but it means I'm listening to a song like 100 times.
Yeah.
So, like I get really like intimate with these songs.
That's fun. So before you wrote Headlights, were you a John Denver fan, or did you specifically choose John Denver because of how well it went with the book?
I was I wasn't like not a John Denver fan, but didn't really know
Yeah,
anything
totally.
about him. Yeah, I just knew like Rocky Mountain High basically and Take Me Home Country Road, all the songs that everybody knows. But um to me Colorado was kind of a scary place when I was a kid. And when I heard Rocky Mountain High as a kid, I think it was one of my first times understanding like my perception of a place is very different than other people's.
Oh,
And you know what I mean? Like and that you can have such different relationships with place.
mhm.
So it felt like it had to be a part of it to me. Also, these things just sort of like, again, like pop into my brain. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that and this and this. And I'm like, I know none of those things go together, but I'm going to make them go together.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I like the soundtrack a lot, and I like how a lot of it's like outlaw country because there's so many different types of country. I
Yeah.
like old country music. I mean, I grew up in Mississippi. Like, how can you know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
All you Jimmy Rogers. I'm from the same town as Jimmy Rogers, so
That's
yeah,
awesome.
country music was huge and stuff. But I thought it was really good. I love listening to playlists that authors make while I read the books. Do you know what I mean? Like listening to the songs that they chose for you because I feel like it's just like this whole curated experience.
Thank you. I'm so glad. The first time I ever encountered it, about God, maybe more than 10 years ago, I was reading a ton of like YA fantasy. And when I first started writing, I thought that's what I wanted to write. And I was just reading it because I loved it. And I remember the first time I found like a playlist online of one of the books. And I don't know if the author made it or like another reader,
Uh-huh.
but I remember being like, oh shit, like this is a thing. And
It's so cool.
yeah, it's so cool. And my other jobs before this, I don't talk about this much, but I was a fitness instructor for a long time. I was
Really?
a spin instructor.
Yeah,
And so
I
like,
teach yoga.
oh, you do?
I do
That's awesome. Yeah. So making playlists is part of your job
all the
too.
time. All
Yeah.
the time. Yep, yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
and it's like you're creating a vibe
you
and you're
are.
like,
Yeah, it
yeah.
is. It's a whole thing. Yeah, it's made it become like where playlists are like a love language for me now. Like I'll send them to my friends and be like, "I made you this playlist for the beach. You're gonna love it." It's like
That's awesome.
it's from back in the day. Remember, like
And those were the best.
those are
That
the
was the
best.
greatest. I feel sad for kids today for that more than anything else, that they will never know the joy of creating a physical CD for their friends.
And like burning it and pulling it
Oh,
off. I know it's sad.
drawing on it,
Yes, with your
putting it in the
Sharpie.
jewel case. Oh my God,
I
it was
know
the greatest.
it was. I agree. Yeah.
Wow.
Cool. Okay, so now, sorry, I diverted us, but going back, the research and stuff. So, did you ever get confused, like keeping up with? No, I really was curious. Like when you were writing, was it ever confusing to keep up with all the different things happening?
Yeah, I'm laughing because the all the time.
Oh,
Like
I would
all
have been
the
so fucking confused.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm always confused. I have to keep such kind of like extensive notes, and even when like my editor and agent read early drafts of things, they'll be like, what, like where does this tie into this? And I'm like, oh shit, it doesn't. Like it's amazing. And then with having the authenticity readers on this book, like they found things that actually made it pretty complicated. Like they're like, it actually can't happen this way that you have it.
Oh, yeah,
So having to rework things like that
totally.
was yeah.
That's a challenge for sure.
Yeah, it was interesting, but that's also the fun of it. And even then, you get a copy editor and a proofreader in at the very end, and that's like at the very end. Like you have no time to make those changes, really, like a few weeks. And they were like, one of them was like, "Hey, you have like a whole um, I don't know how many, maybe 8 or 9 scene time continuity error where like the timeline doesn't make sense." And I was like, oh my God.
You're like, just kill me now.
I know. So yeah, all the time,
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time.
It seems
Because
like
you,
it would be.
yeah,
Yeah,
you change anything and then everything has to change in a book.
exactly. Yeah. Whew, it's very formulaic. Like that feels a lot like math. Do you know what I mean? Or a
Yeah.
chemistry
Yeah.
problem. You're talking about it. That's what I think. I'm like, that sounds a lot like a chemistry problem or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It kind of is.
Yeah.
Except like you're the one, yeah, you're the one coming up with the equation too.
Yes,
And then people
exactly.
are like, yeah, it makes no sense.
So, with Colorado, I mean, it's obvious that like the wolf, the gray wolf, Colorado, but how did you like, will you talk about the wolf? So I love the conservation aspect of the book so much. It's probably one of my favorite things, as well as the way that you, your settings, the states and regions you choose become like their own character in your books. I love it so much. And I loved I thought it was super thought provoking from the different perspectives of the wolf. Do you know what I mean? From like the farmers and everything.
Thank you.
Book, it's so good. And I was just wondering if you would just talk anything about that you want to about choosing the wolf and
Yeah. Well, I think with this book, and this is I'm gonna go on like a little like
yeah.
journey, but I'm answering this
Okay.
question. um I was really struggling with grief and with this question of like, well, many questions, but one was like, what is death?
Mhm.
And one was like, I think I was in that moment where you really understand, which I think everybody has this moment at some point in life. You look around and you're like, oh my God, everybody I love is going to die and I'm going to die. And we don't know what order that's happening in. And so that is a reality of being here. And that led to another question, which was sort of like, well, what is the point? Like when it's so painful and sad and hard. And so this thing of like, what is the point? What is death? Where do our loved ones go? Kind of led to like, when they go, what do they leave behind?
Mhm.
And what do we leave behind? And what is our place here? And all of it kind of led me to ecosystems, like the ecosystems of our natural world of non-human animals interacting with human animals, and also our ecosystems like our own families and communities, and sort of our time here is so finite. So what we're doing with it, I couldn't stop thinking about it. You know, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And I think so much, you know, I always knew I was going to have the wolves be a part of it because it's a Colorado book. I've spent time in Colorado. Everybody's talking about the wolves. You know, it's a
Everybody's talking
huge
about the
topic.
wolf. Yeah.
Yeah. And we took out a keystone species, you know, and that affects everything. And so this feeling of like anything that we do actually affects everything and everyone. And maybe that can be catastrophic in the cases of violence.
Mhm.
And maybe it can also be beautiful in the cases of um, like love or, you know, um,
Yeah, both sides.
anything we put positively. Yeah, exactly. And so it's such an obvious idea, but it's kind of the thing that I came back to with everything is like, maybe this question of like, what's the point really is more of a question of like understanding how where we are in relation to every other living thing here. And maybe the fact that we are all living in relation to each other, like maybe that is a bit of the point. Like maybe that is a bit of what we should
Absolutely.
actually be holding on to.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I feel like the older I've gotten, the more obvious that has become to me.
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah,
more
I think it's a
strongly I feel like that
Yeah,
realization, do you know what I mean, is true.
totally. I personally think it's about our communities and building home with the beings we love and finding ways to leave, this book is like has to do with like ghosts and DNA shed and human development and all these questions of like what do we leave behind
Right.
after, and even within our families, what's your family legacy that you leave
Yes.
behind? John Denver left this music behind, like all of these things. And so uh with this question of what do we leave behind, it's like, is there a way to leave something more positive after we're here? And is that kind of like the most beautiful thing we could be doing?
Yes, it is. I love it. I love it so much. Yeah. I hope that people get that point from it. As many people as can. Do you know what I mean? The animals.
Thank you. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah, we're not the only species that matters on
We
this
have to
earth.
speak up for the things that can't speak up for themselves. I feel like it's our duty.
Yeah.
And it's better to be aware of it now and not wait too late. It's so we wait until so many animals are on the
Yeah.
verge of extinction or extinct before we even remotely. I mean, we could go on forever about this. I'm sure. Obviously, we feel the same way. That's like a 20-hour podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
on how
know.
people
Well,
become.
and I would happily talk about
Yeah, me too.
it.
I was like, I kept like writing out questions, and it was like 25 of them about wildlife and conservation. I was like, okay, and we can't do the
Yeah.
whole interview talking about that, but it is so important. And I loved so much the conservational aspect in your book.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So, with exploring America and doing other areas, can you talk about any of the other areas of your upcoming books? Is that or like ideas of things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have like 9 books in my, queued up in my brain and my notes tab of what I want to do next. But my next one for sure is New York City.
Fun.
And it'll be fun. I know, another city. My
Yes.
editor was like, "Can you like give us one another city, and two, like we got to get to the East Coast. Like if we're like going all over,
Yes.
I've kept it pretty Western. So we're gonna do New York City. And then the next book after that is not hasn't been approved as my fifth book yet, but I think it will be. But that one is like 8 states. That one's
Ooh,
a big one.
fun. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited.
that's very exciting. I really enjoy learning more about these places, in these books. Like I've explored Colorado, even though not all the areas you wrote about, but like for me, American Rapture, like that's one of the areas in our country I've traveled in some of the least. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I thought it was really interesting, and it's so fun just to like the Americana vibe of learning more. And like also like I love how you have these like very specific like dive bars or places that have like
yeah.
cult followings, and it's cool because I'll make note of them. And I love seeing like how people go to these places that you've written about, with the book and everything.
That's my dream.
It is so cool. Yeah.
Thank you. That is literally my dream. I want to make my special interests everyone else's problem. And I have an artist friend and we made these maps for headlights so
Oh,
that if readers want to go, and we had them at my tour stops, but we're gonna put them for sale online so
awesome.
people can like
Great.
get them. But we're now making them retroactively for Maeve and American Rapture, and we're going to keep doing them for each book moving forward. And like that's my hope, is that if somebody's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go see House on the Rock, but I want to stay maybe where this author was staying when she wrote this scene,
Yes.
I can say like where I think the best brandy old fashioned is in the
Yes.
area, you know what I mean, or
I
whatever.
love it. Yeah, I think it's really neat, super fun. And it's a great way to promote culture, different areas, like different,
Yeah,
yeah, because their culture is so important. And so many areas have such cool culture in our country and people don't know about it, like Southern culture. Of course, I'm from the South, but, there's
yep,
so many cool things everywhere, like obviously not just the South, everywhere. So it's neat to learn more about them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think too, we're in a, it's so easy to not love our country sometimes.
Very
Yeah,
of the
we all
lake.
know. I'm
Yeah,
laughing because I'm like crying
because that's
inside,
all
you
you.
know.
Yeah, agreed.
But I think what there is to love is what we have to hold on to. And I think if we do hold on to that and we also keep fighting for everything else, like I think that's where the real future is for us
Me too.
personally.
Yeah. And inspiring as much love in the upcoming generations for this country as we can from them being so disillusioned as they should be with it. Do you know what I mean? Finding ways
Yeah.
to inspire any type of,
Yeah,
well,
make people want to fight for it,
yes, exactly.
and make people want to actually make it better.
I agree. Yeah. Whew, yeah. Another podcast.
I know,
Really
sorry.
long. Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
in
no, no.
2026.
Yeah. Exactly. So I was curious. So like right now, you share that you're pretty much traveling with your partner most of the time,
Yeah.
isn't that accurate? So,
Yeah.
and you're a prolific writer. I mean, your goal is to release books as close to annually-ish as you can.
Yeah.
So I assume your writing process has changed a little bit. And how do you write so much? Like, will you just talk about that in any aspect, like
Yeah.
the juggling?
Well, it's so funny because compared to like my other horror writer friends, I'm the slowest writer. I'm like, I'm I don't know. I can't keep up with everybody else. But I think I just did an event with my boyfriend and two of our friends in LA, and somebody asked this question, like, when do you write? And I looked at Kyle and I was like, when do I write? And he was like, CJ just does this weird magical thing where, like, for months, she'll be like, oh my God, I have no pages. I have no pages. And then, like, a week or two later, like, there's a book. And I think what it is that like a book cooks for so long in my head. Like I'm listening to the playlist, I'm doing research, I'm thinking about the world, I'm imagining scenes as I'm like walking around or walking the dogs or whatever. And I think I build it a lot in my brain first,
Totally.
which being on the road is like, yeah, it being on the road's really conducive to that actually.
Absolutely.
And you're driving so much. And then I don't need all that much time to do like the writing.
Mhm.
And then the edits always suck. Edits
Oh,
are like so
yes.
intense.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
That's not
But
seem
those are like,
fun.
no, to me, it's not. Some writers love it. My boyfriend actually loves editing, which is insane. But when I edit, I usually have to do like 16-hour days because I'm just like, I don't want to be doing this more than like
So I
three
don't blame
weeks,
you.
you
Knock it
know?
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting that you say that about like it kind of living in your mind for a little while. I actually read a study one time that said that procrastination by definition, like where
Mhm.
I know you're not procrastinating, but just the idea of holding like something in
Yeah.
mind before you do it for an extended period, it is proven to make the end product better. Like literally when they
Wow.
looked at the end product for people who like just get the assignment, go straight into it, don't let it stew in their mind, you know what I mean? Versus the people who waited almost till the end to do it. It said that the end product was always better for the person who procrastinated. And I was like, that is so interesting. 'Cause I'm the
Wow.
opposite. I'm like, do it immediately. I have anxiety if I have anything looming over.
Yep. Yeah.
So, but it has made me for really important things I do in school and stuff like stop and be like, okay, maybe you should sit with this for a minute and see how it changes. I thought that was so
Wow.
interesting. So like in a way, like maybe it makes it better that you're doing it like that.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna
I
say
mean, fuck
yes.
it. If that's what you do, you might as well go with it since that's what's happening.
Yes, thank you. You
Yes,
said it here. It's true.
absolutely. Um, so again, coming back to nature, I was curious, like out of the traveling that you and your partner have done, like what are some of your favorite state and natural parks?
Oh my gosh.
I know
I
that's a
think
loaded question.
no, but yeah, and there are so many. And I will say I have never met a state I didn't like, and I've never met a state or national park I didn't like. But maybe my favorite is I love Grand Teton. I
No.
love it.
Yeah.
Um, I think I mean, there's so many good ones, but that one, I like being really northern.
Mhm.
And also, I will say, everywhere we went in Alaska was like the most amazing
Oh
thing
my
I've
gosh,
ever seen.
that's really high up for me. I have not been to Alaska yet.
Um,
I want to go so bad. Yeah.
I was like, can we move here? I will move here right now. Like, if I was like saying to Kyle, I was like, if you say yes, we will move
Yeah.
here right now.
We will be living in Alaska. There will be a book about Alaska soon.
Yeah, I should write an Alaska book. There's a one of my favorite kind of divey bars I've ever been to in my life was in Anchorage. But yeah, it's God, this land rocks. This land rocks, and that's why we got to freaking take care
That's
of it.
right. Yeah, it's so amazing. Just all the areas. It's so wild. Like the redwoods, which is probably my favorite. I
Um,
would say, like, which is more state park vibes. Like up in Humboldt and Jedediah.
yeah.
But that's my favorite. And then Olympic National. I mean, it's amazing. That whole area, the temperate rainforest, everything on Olympic. But also like the mangroves in Florida and South Florida. Like mangroves, it's crazy. They're in our country. Like we literally have them, although they will go away if we do not start taking care of stuff better. But it's just so cool. Just all the nature stuff. Oh, there.
Hi, are
Hi.
you there?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I just got off the hotel Wi-Fi. I guess
Oh, you're
it
okay.
doesn't.
It was just one little bleep. Yeah.
Um, no, but yeah, they're the tallest trees in the world. I mean,
Amazing.
it's
Yeah. It's
amazing.
so
It's
cool.
so
Yeah.
cool. You can
Yeah.
drive through them.
It's
It's
insane.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah. It's so neat. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. I wanted to ask you that. Because I know you spend a lot of time outdoors. I always love to hear people's favorite places to visit. Um,
They're all, you just can't go wrong. It's the
can't go.
best.
Yeah. So how did you choose the title for Headlights?
Well, it so much of, the metaphor of this
Mm-hmm.
book is kind of about what we can and can't see, and this sort of feeling of like mortal human life being like only seeing so far in front of us in our headlights, like you're driving at night. And this feeling of like I mean, there are so many things to it. Like you're never really alone on the road. There's always another set of headlights,
Yeah.
and you need two headlights for a car to drive safely. And this feeling of like I talk about the shining and shine and Danny's shine and can he see things beyond? And so much of this book was like, are there people who can see more? Can any of us see more? Is it okay that we can't see more? And are there, in whatever ways in which we kind of are different from other people, is there maybe also somebody like us? And like all of these things.
Oh, I
And
love it.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's so good. Like the title of the book, after you read it and you go back and you contemplate all the things you just said, like all the metaphors and symbolism, and you're like, holy shit, it's the perfect title for it. Yeah. I also
Thank
like
you.
it just like one word. Do you know what I mean? It's just very like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's there. I like that a lot. It's very appropriate.
Thank you.
Yeah, so good. So one of my last questions is, did you, without spoilers, obviously, I absolutely don't want to do that for anyone, but the conclusion, did you always know that it would conclude in the way-ish that it did, or did that change drastically throughout writing?
I knew the last scene
Mhm.
would be what it was. But other things changed a lot, and I'm happy they did.
Yeah.
I think it landed where it needed
Oh,
to.
yeah. Yeah. It's a great conclusion. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. But usually the last line of a book and the last scene, I usually write those first at the beginning of a
I
book.
see.
Like
That's cool.
those don't tend to change a lot for me. Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
remember the last line for all three of my books, and I had all of those in mind at the beginning. So that was,
I love that. Yeah.
yeah.
So the end of your formula is always there, and sometimes you work backwards.
Yes. And the
Oh,
beginnings I have much more
yeah,
trouble with.
that's interesting because a lot of it's so interesting to hear how every author is different because so many people say the
Yeah.
that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so y'all are all
Really?
yes. Everybody's minds are just so different. I mean, it's insane. Like one person I interviewed hand writes all of her books still. And
Wow.
she handwrites
Wow.
computer until she's going into another draft. I was like, holy shit, that's so cool, but so different than everyone else, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I guess really my last question would be, do you have any authors, inspirations, or favorite books? Like, no pressure on like what are you reading right now, because that's like a really hard question to ask someone on the spot. But, just any of your influences over time, not even just for this book, that you want to share with the listeners. They love to hear that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, so many, of course. But I would say I want to shout out friend of mine whose work I love so much. She's got a book coming in February that if you like headlights, like if you like this sort of question of like, is it paranormal? Is it trauma? Like, and are those things sort of like, are they mutually exclusive? Um, Liz Caron's book, How to Disappear Completely.
I have Night's Edge sitting
Do you
right.
have it?
Yes, yes, and I pre-ordered her new book.
Oh, perfect. You're
Yeah,
going
I
to love it.
pre-ordered.
Night's Edge is one of my favorite books
It's
ever.
so
Yeah,
good. I just reread
it's
it. Yeah,
so good.
it's so
She's
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
And this new book is such an amazing exploration of trauma. And yeah, I keep saying it does feel like a Radiohead song in like book form, you know.
Yeah,
So
that's
good.
exciting. I can't wait. Yeah, I saw that she had shared that the other day that it was available for pre-order and everything.
And it's great. It's
Awesome.
not to brag, but I did get to read it early. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, benefits of being friends with the author. Yeah, getting to read each
Yes,
other's work.
fully bragging.
That's super cool. Yeah, I can't wait. Definitely. I'll include the details for that in the caption for this as well so people can see her name and everything.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, do you have one more stop on your book tour or
I
two?
have, yeah, I'm in Florida. I have a Miami book event, and then I've got some cons and festivals, and then some like one-off events in New York City. We're parked in New York for the summer.
Nice.
So yeah, but that's it. So
Yeah.
I'm at the end. I've done a lot of I've done a lot of interviews and events, and it's
You
been
have. You've really
I
been
feel really
busy.
yeah, it's been special. I feel really lucky, and I'm just so happy that I'm happy this worked out. I'm happy we got to talk, and
Yeah.
it feels amazing that like you know, it still feels crazy that anybody like cares and wants to talk about my books, you know, so it's
I bet. I
or
bet
wants to
that's
come out.
surreal.
Yeah.
A surreal feeling. Yeah.
It's surreal and it's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I feel so lucky.
And each
So
of your
thank you
books
so
have
much.
such specific different cult followings now. I'm already
Yeah.
seeing, you know what I mean? You know how there's
Yeah.
like the maze, which I mean, I think you're readers of all of your books, but like so many people specifically with each book. And I was so curious. I was like, what are the cult followers for Headlights going to be like? I was so curious. And they're totally everywhere. Everyone loves it.
I'm so thrilled and relieved, honestly, because it felt like a gamble, and I'm so happy that my readers are like down to
Hell yeah,
explore and
they
like
are.
go on new adventures, you
Yeah.
know?
People are here for adventures. Yeah. Well,
Really awesome.
congratulations on publishing your third novel, and I can't wait
Thank you.
everything you write. I will always read all of your books. Thank you so much for giving me your time today. It's a legit dream come true to get to talk to you. I'm serious. Thank you
Oh
so much.
my gosh. Thank you so much. And honestly, I'm just like loving visually like being in your room right now. Like
Oh,
this
it's
is such a
wild.
beautiful,
Thank
I
you.
love it.
Look at this freaky dog girl right there on the wall.
I'm obsessed.
You know those old velvet paintings that are like black
Yeah.
stuff? When I turn off the black light in here, it's so weird.
I love it. And yeah, it's really it's super cool.
Thank you. Well, good luck in Miami. I'm in
Thank you.
Pensacola. You're in Miami. We're in the same state,
Oh, no
so far
way.
away. Yeah, totally different ends of the state. Yeah.
Ah,
Don't you
well, next time maybe
have family
Pensacola.
in Florida? Or you, because when I came to American Rapture, you came to the Lynx, which is one of the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Lynx is amazing in Gainesville. which I
It really is. That was such a fun night.
that was so fun. I love that place. I love everything that they do. For everything that she does with that place is so amazing. Have you ever been to the bar? I think it's called Tops in Gainesville.
Yes, love.
But
Wait, it's the one, is it, it's the one like right across, almost right across.
yeah, it's like on a corner and it has like a very mid-century vibe. I mean, like, like
Yeah.
rain mineral girl lamps and swag lamps everywhere. It's like very divey, but it's so rad. And because y'all have been doing those on your tour, kind of, I was curious if you had ever been to that bar. It is so rad.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know if I always have to get the sign off, right? But like, I have a Florida book I very much want to write.
That would be
And I'm, yeah, I want to do it.
I would
Every
love
time I come to Florida and talk to people about Florida, I'm like, I have to do this book.
it's
I
such
love
a
Florida.
crazy trip. It's so
It's
wild.
crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah. And Northern Florida is, I mean, it's the woods. Like
It
people
is.
don't really talk about
Yeah,
that.
it's so weird. People don't realize like where we live. I mean, we live like an hour from what people think of as like Orange Beach, Alabama, but we also live by Montgomery and Mississippi and, a few hours from New Orleans. So it's a very weird, but yeah, very forested, yet on the water.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
pretty.
Oh, I feel very lucky, like seeing dolphins every day of my life in the water and stuff. I mean, how could you ever take something like that?
Wow.
Yeah, I feel so, so lucky. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, thank you, CJ.
Thank you so much. It was so good to see you again. And thank you for just
Yes,
being so cool.
you too. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.